past, we've talked a lot about apps, how they can help people. But today, I wanted, just selfishly looking at YouTube the other day, I said, gee, I wonder how we can use YouTube as a teaching tool. It's basic, it's free, it's available on every computer, on every device. It's just pretty pervasive. I said there must be tons of learning opportunities out there through these videos that can help the people that we serve. I'm looking in these videos for direct messages with correctly paced speech. If any of you look at some of the YouTube videos out there, boy, people are off to the races when they talk, and so quickly, and a lot of times people with cognitive challenges can't keep up with that speech. I want people to see themselves in these videos, peer relatable, someone that looks like me. I want it to be age appropriate. There's a lot of wonderful things out there for K to 12, but somebody in their 40s looking at one of these videos, it's hard for them to relate. I'm trying to also find videos that, it's ironic, my webinar today is directed at people in the service industry and parents. But, I'm trying to find webinars and videos that aren't from the caregiver perspective, and they're not just PR pieces that somebody is using to promote their agency or their services. I'm looking at YouTube especially because, yes, I know there's lots of training materials out there that you can purchase, but not many of us have big budgets that can afford a lot of that. So I'm looking for resources that are free. And you know what? You take all those things together, and I found out after searching a while through YouTube, it's not too easy to find good YouTube videos. And perhaps the people on this call can change that. Give you an example. Here's one, the independence myth. People with disabilities are independent too. We tell everybody to strive to be independent, but really, is anyone in this world independent? We all rely upon each other, friends, family, governments. This video is an interesting real-life testimony to our interconnectedness. It's a woman that speaks about her need to ask people for help. She has cerebral palsy. She also has some doctorates, some various degrees, pretty impressive. But when she goes shopping in the neighborhood, she has to ask for help sometimes. She can't exist in this world without asking for some kind assistance from a person. Again, we always say, be as independent as possible, but I think you want to be as included as possible in this world. This is a great video to watch, and all of these, you can turn on captioning, and it can be accessible to everybody. She does her speech initially with her own voice, and then she turns it over to an iPad because she has some difficult speech pronunciation. Very, very well done video. And here's another great video. You could show this to a group of folks in your program and start a discussion on it. It has advocates talking about what is self-advocacy, why is it important, and in this day and age with so many system changes to the school system, to the adult care system, this is the most important time to be an advocate since the days of deinstitutionalization. So it's a critical skill. If somebody goes to their case conference, I sure hope that they're speaking up and running the meeting because it's all about them. Here's one that shows the value of work, and I like this because it's all people with various disabilities in the workplace. They all seem so excited about the idea that they're working and bringing value to the world, and they're all very happy people. I think if you showed this to folks, it could be a very inspiring video for them to try and have the confidence to go out and find that job and do it well. And here, another job-related video, but this is on the subject, all right, you already got that job, but how are you going to keep it? And a bunch of kids that are late teenage years in school are the stars of this video, and that's part of the charm of it, because it has all kinds of role-playing scenario using these student actors, and it's a lot of fun. It's certainly not ready for primetime broadcast, but I think its honesty and its relevance make it a really, really good product. And I'm not getting involved in faith-based things. This is from a Special Friends ministry, but this gentleman who does a lot on services for folks with autism has a very interesting video on video modeling, why your child with autism needs it, but it's not just about autism. It's a good intro for teachers and support workers into the concept of video modeling that you can use to make peer-based examples. In my search, I didn't find that much with peer-based instruction. In lieu of that, it's really great if we can create some of these peer-based videos. Here's an example of one of them. This person goes into the store to do some grocery shopping. They're at Target. They have a shopping list. They have to follow the shopping list and not get distracted by some other things that may be more appealing. And it's a really great intro to the concept of living in the community, shopping for yourself, following lists, and interacting with the community. I can see so many applications like this of, how do you take an Uber ride? How do you order something in the restaurant? How do you plan for your week coming up? But always the star should be the person with the cognitive disabilities, the person that it's all about. So following a peer in any situation, I think, is a winner. Here's another one, simple. How do you dress yourself? In our system of care, in the adult system, we're always trying to tell our staff, let people try. Let people try. And sometimes it's very difficult because in the rush of a morning or the rush of going somewhere, it's hard to step back and say, all right, let's take that extra time and learn how to dress ourselves. But here you have a peer that is doing a very basic thing, learning how to put a sweatshirt on. And if I had a penny for every time my daughter has come to me after dressing herself in her pajamas, but they happen to be on backwards, I don't notice that they're on backwards. What I really notice is that she tried to put them on. And this is what we're trying to teach people. Independence as much as possible. I think it would be a great thing if the people on this webinar could think about instructional media that they could create on their own. Years ago you used to have to get a whole video set up with lighting and everything, but thanks to the wonderful technology that's out there, all you need is an iPhone or an iPad or other similar products, and you can make a pretty darn good video. I've been doing this a lot with some of the self-advocates at the agency, just learning their personal stories, having them talk for 2 or 3 minutes, and we're going to set up a self-advocacy page on our new website where people, when they are told, hey, why don't you join self-advocacy, this will be a good reason for them to do it. They'll be able to see somebody like them that use self-advocacy to run their case conference, to get an apartment, to get a job, whatever. But they're seeing themselves reflected, not being dependent on a staff person, a parent, or some other model. It's much more of a direct connection.